Today, we're covering the SSH commands that are essential for managing remote servers as a DevOps engineer. SSH, or Secure Shell, is a protocol that lets you connect to remote machines, and it works across platforms, including WSL on Windows, any Linux distro, or even network devices like routers. I'll demonstrate each command in my terminal, explain what it does, and share practical tips. Let's get started. Let's begin with the most fundamental SSH command, the basic login. On the screen, you'll see me type SSH user at host. This command connects you to a remote server. The user is the username on the remote machine, for example, Elderson in my case. The host is the server's IP address, like 10.1.15.100, or a domain name, like myserver.com. By default, SSH uses port 22 for the connection. Let me show you. I'm typing SSH Elderson at 10.1.15.100. The first time you connect, you'll see a prompt asking to accept the server's fingerprint. Just type yes and hit enter. After entering the password, or if you have SSH keys set up, you'll see the server's terminal prompt. This means you're now logged into the remote machine and can run commands as if you're physically there. This is your starting point for accessing any remote server, whether you're on WSL, a Linux distro, or even SSHing into a router with SSH-enabled. If you get a connection error, double-check the IP, username, or ensure the server is online. Let's log out by typing exit and move to the next command. Sometimes servers don't use the default port 22 for SSH, often for security reasons. To connect to a custom port, you need this command, SSH-p 2222 user at host. The -p flag specifies the port, like 2222. Let me demonstrate how to set this up. First, I'll log into my server to configure a custom port. I'm typing SSH Elderson at 10.1.15.100. Once logged in, I'll edit the SSH config file using nano//ssh/sshd.config. I'll find the line that says hash port 22. I'll uncomment it by removing the hash and change it to port 2222. Save the file, exit, and restart the SSH service using sudo system control restart SSHD. Now back on my local machine, I'll connect using the new port SSH-p 2222 Elderson at 10.1.15.100. You'll see I'm prompted for credentials and SSH connects through port 2222. Why is this useful? Changing the SSH port reduces automated attacks targeting port 22. If your connection fails, ask your sysadmin for the correct port or use Nmap to scan for open ports, though that's for another video. Let's exit and move on. Next, let's set up SSH keys for secure passwordless authentication. The command is SSH-i/tilde/SSH/ID rasa user at host. The -i flag points to your private SSH key, typically at tilde/SSH/ID rasa. Let's try it. SSH-i tilde/SSH/ID rasa Elderson at 10.1.15.100. Oh, I got an error. No such file or directory. This means I need to generate an SSH key pair. In my terminal, I'll run SSH keygen. It prompts for a file location. I'll press enter to use the default tilde/SSH/ID rasa. It asks for a passphrase. I recommend setting one for extra security, but you can skip it by pressing enter twice. Now the keys are generated. ID rasa, private, and ID rasa.pub, public. Let's try the command again. SSH-i tilde/SSH/ID rasa Elderson at 10.1.15.100. I still need a password because the server doesn't know my public key yet. To fix this, I'll use SSH copy ID Elderson at 10.1.15.100. It prompts for the server's password, then copies my public key to the server. Now, let's retry. SSH-i ~/SSH/ID rasa Elderson at 10.1.15.100. Boom, no password needed. If you're still having issues, add -v for verbose output. SSH-v -i ~/SSH/ID rasa Elderson at 10.1.15.100. This shows debug logs, helping you spot if the key is rejected. SSH keys are more secure than passwords and save time. Let's exit and move to the next command. Now let's explore running a command on a remote server without logging in. The command is ssh user at host uptime. This runs uptime on the remote server and returns the output. Since I set up a config file, I'll use a shortcut, but we'll get to that later. For now, I'll type ssh elderson at 10.1.15.100. You'll see the server's uptime, showing how long it's been running, and I'm back on my local machine. This is great for automation. You can run commands like ls, df.h for disk space, or scripts without opening a full session. For example, you could script this to check uptime across multiple servers. Since I'm on WSL, this works the same as on any Linux distro or router with SSH enabled. Let's exit and move to our final command. To simplify SSH connections, let's create a config file at .ssh/config. This acts like an alias, saving you from typing long commands. I'll open the file with nano.ssh/config. Here's what I'm adding. I'll save and exit. To secure the file, I'll run chmod 600 /.ssh/config. Now, instead of typing ssh-i ~/ssh/id_rsa Elderson at 10.1.15.100, I just type ssh main server. It connects instantly using my key. This is a time saver for managing multiple servers. You can add more host entries with different host names, users, or ports. On WSL or any Linux distro, this works the same, streamlining your workflow. Let's add a custom SSH banner for a professional touch. I'll log into the server, SSH main server. Now, I'll create a banner file with sudo nano/etc/issue.net. I'll add a message, "Welcome to my server. Authorize users only." Save and exit. Next, I'll edit sshd config with sudo nano/etc/sshd_config. I'll add or uncomment the line banner/etc/issue.net. Save, exit, and restart the SSH service. Sudo systemctl restart sshd. Now, let's test it. Exit and SSH main server. You'll see the banner before the login prompt. This is great for adding warnings or branding to your server. Since you mentioned it, let's cover one more command, copying files with SCP. The command is scp file.txt main server :/home/elderson. Let's try it. I have a file.txt on my local machine. I'll type scp file.txt main server :/home/elderson. This copies file.txt to the /home/elderson directory on the server using SSH. You'll see a progress bar, and the file is transferred securely. SCP is powerful for moving files to or from servers, and it works seamlessly on WSL or any Linux distro. Check the server with SSH main server and ls/home/elderson to confirm the file is there. That's it for the first 5 SSH commands plus bonuses for setting up a banner and using SCP. We've covered basic login, custom ports, SSH keys, running remote commands, and simplifying connections with a config file. These are core skills for managing servers like a pro, whether on WSL, Linux, or even routers. In the next part, we'll cover tunneling, proxy jumps, and more. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more tutorials. Drop a comment with questions or your favorite SSH tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.